The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 might be one of the easiest cameras to film yourself in the gym. But no matter how small and easy it is, that still doesn't mean that your videos are automatically gonna look cinematic. Because a lot of the times it still looks flat, the angles feel awkward, and it's probably nothing like the clean cinematic look you were going for. Now the good news is this camera can actually look really good, but only if you know how to use it properly. In this video, I'm gonna be focusing on 3 things if I want my videos to look clean and cinematic. Number 1, the exact settings I use. Number 2, how I set up my shots, and I'm gonna show you the angles that actually work. Number 3, I wanna show you exactly how I color grade my videos in Premiere Pro to give it that teal, clean, cinematic look. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you how this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 can compete with my $3,000 camera setup, just as long as you focus on these 2 things. So number 1, the settings that I use. I always shoot at 4K 24 frames per second because it just gives the videos a more cinematic look. Shutter speed is at 1/50 because you always want to double your frame rate. And if you want to shoot any slow motion stuff, make sure you always film at 60 frames per second so you can slow down your footage after. And always just make sure that your shutter speed is at 1/120. For color, I'm shooting in HLG because it just gives me a little bit more room when I'm color grading in Premiere Pro later. And I find that D-Log isn't really that much better than HLG, so I just stick with HLG. For ISO, I usually try to keep it between 50 to 800. And I try not to go past that because anything past that, I find that the footage gets pretty grainy. For white balance, I usually leave it at auto white balance. I find that it's pretty accurate. And so that way I don't have to really play around with that too much. For exposure value, I usually leave it at -0.3 because I like my videos just a little bit darker, but that's just all preference. Usually people have it at 0. The sharpness and noise reduction, I have both at -1 because I find that if I leave it at 0, it just comes out a little bit too sharp. So that's why it's at -1. And for focus, I just keep it at continuous AF. And if your gym is super bright and your ISO is already down to 50 and you can't go any lower, this is where an ND filter comes in. You just slap this onto your lens and it basically acts like sunglasses. And if you want to get this, I'll link this down below. Number 2, how I set up my shots and the angles that actually work. Now, before we get into the angles, I want to show you the tripod setup that I'm using because the tripod that comes with it is okay, but when you set it on the floor, I find that it's just way too low and the angle is just super awkward. The tripod that I'm using is actually a phone tripod. Now, I've talked about this in previous videos before, but all you have to do is unscrew this and put your DJI Osmo Pocket 3 on top of here, and it just acts like a bigger version of the stand that comes with the Pocket 3. And now I like this because you can get multiple angles. It's tiny enough to where you can put it in your backpack. It just comes in super handy, and especially that we're gonna be filming alone, it's just a perfect combo for your DJI Pocket 3. With this 2 setup right here, I can pretty much get all the angles and the shots that I need, and I'll show you here in a bit. Now, whenever I'm setting up for an exercise, the first thing I think about is where my body is gonna be. But not too long ago, I actually made a mistake of not framing my movement properly. If I'm doing a bench press or like a shoulder press, for example, I'll think about where my body is gonna go, but I sometimes forget to frame where my hands are gonna go as well. So if I'm pressing, I always wanna make sure that I have enough headroom up above here and that I don't want it to get cut off. And so that's one thing that you always have to keep in mind is frame your body as well as the movement you're gonna do. The second thing is depth. Now, if you can get something close to your lens like a bench or a dumbbell, your videos are automatically gonna look better because it's not gonna look flat anymore. The third thing is just trying to pay attention to your surroundings in the gym. Now, if your gym has a lot of leading lines, for example, like LED lines or benches that you can use, or even turf lines, try to use that to your advantage because when you do, your videos just look so much more cinematic and just very eye-pleasing. Now for the actual shot types, I'm gonna keep it a little bit simple here, just because I've already done a couple of videos on the shots that I'm gonna be talking about, and I've talked about it more in depth, and so if you wanna watch that, go ahead and watch that after this video. Now the first shot I'm gonna talk about, and my favorite one, is a low angle shot. With the low angle shot, you look a little bit more dominant when you're filming. You're not having to extend your tripod and ask for more attention, and that's why my go-to is always the low angle shot. The second one is a side angle shot coming from the side here. It's basically your low angle, but to the side instead of like a 45-degree angle. I like this because even though I might be doing the same workout, now my angle is to the side and it's just another add-on that you can use for your gym edits, for example. Now the third one is a foreground shot. This is almost like the depth shot I was talking about. And so if you can put something close to your lens and then in the background, you getting like dumbbells, for example, like that, your video is just gonna look a lot more cinematic. The fourth one you can do is a detail or a close-up shot. There's so many shots you can do, like putting weights back, putting straps on a barbell or a dumbbell, you sweating, you tying your shoes, for example. Those are great shots that you can add to your edits as well. And at the 5th spot is a movement shot. Now this is where This is actually a little bit different than the other two videos that I've made on how to film yourself, because the DJI Osmo has a face tracking system. And so, you know, when you're speaking or doing like gym vlogs, for example, your face can be tracked. Or let's say when you're literally just grabbing a dumbbell and you're walking to your bench, for example, it's gonna track your face, and it actually looks so cool, and you don't have to do any kind of post work. And the face tracking, I think, is such a great add-on that you can do for your gym edits. And I know a lot of you are gonna wanna film vertically for, you know, shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks. And before, I used to hate filming vertically with this, because when you do, it turns to 3K from 4K. I just felt like the quality just wasn't there. So before, I'd much rather film on my iPhone because it just gave better quality than this Osmo, until like recently, like 6 months ago or so. And so what you do if you want to get true 4K is you don't do anything to this, you don't flip this vertically. And so what you do is you literally just tilt it sideways, and this way you can get 4K footage. And what I love about this Osmo is that it comes with the app where it gives you so much control, so you can move the gimbal itself. And so if you feel like you're out of frame, you can move the lens to where you can put yourself in the best frame possible. And you can also tap on yourself to make sure that you're always focused. And there's just so many things you can do on that app. And this is probably one of the biggest advantages that most cameras don't have, is the app that you can use to control your camera. So with all those different types of shots that we talked about, you should have more than enough to make a clean edit. Number 3, how I color grade my videos. So let's go ahead and jump into Premiere Pro. And before we get started, let's go ahead to the workspace color and go to settings, and then click on color manage auto detected log and raw media. So anytime you bring in any sort of S-Log footage or any kind of log footage into your Premiere Pro, all you have to do is drag it in here and it'll turn it into Rec 709. Let's go ahead and drag that in there. And before we get going, I just wanna say that color grading is all subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. It's what you prefer, it's what you like. And so I'm just gonna show you my way of color grading. And if you like some of the things that I do, go ahead and copy it or pick it up. So let's go ahead and start off with this clip that I have right here of me bench pressing. So first thing that I do now is just press auto, okay? Don't worry, we'll fix it up later. And next thing I do is go to HSL secondary. I wanna color grade everything else aside from my skin color. Click on this eyedropper tool right here, and then click on my skin color. Check this box off, press the invert. And so what that will do is highlight the first color that I initially clicked on. And as you can see, some of my body parts haven't been grayed out yet. Press on this eyedropper tool with a positive sign on it. I'm gonna keep clicking on the rest of my body part until it's fully covered. And just like that, my skin color has been covered. Check this box off. What we can do to change the background color to whatever color it is you want is go down over here. Like I said, we wanted to go for that tealish type of look. So what I'm gonna do is go down here and just kind of drag this down to maybe like some like that, okay? But you can change it to any color that you want. You know, it's all preference, remember that. So now what I'm gonna do is go back to basic color, and I like my gym videos a little bit darker, so it has that like darker aesthetic type of look. So now what I'm gonna do is put up the contrast a bit over here. Highlights, I'm gonna bring down. Shadows as well, I'm gonna bring down. And then the whites, I'm also gonna bring down a bit. And then the black, I'll also bring it down a little bit. And then finally, the exposure, just a little bit as well. Saturation, when I pressed auto, it brought it up to 142, which is way too much for me. So I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. And then I don't really like the color of my skin color. I feel like it kind of got it off a little bit, but like it's a little bit orange. Go to curves, go to hue versus sat right here on the first box. Click on the eyedropper tool, and then just go ahead and press on your skin, just like so. And then it'll make these 3 dots right here. And then what you're gonna wanna do is just drag the middle part to kind of down a little bit, and that'll kind of get rid of that orangey type of look. Yeah, my skin color is a little bit more neutral. And if you're gonna be color grading multiple clips, what you can do to make your life a little bit easier, so for example, we have this clip right here, what you can do instead of doing everything else that you just did to this one clip, what you can do is go to effects control, go to lumetri color, and just copy that and just go ahead and paste it onto here. And just like that, it copied everything that we did to this video. And then I just wanna show you another way of completely separating your body from the background when the HSL secondary doesn't work. So I'm gonna show you right here. We have this clip right here of me doing a row. Let's do the auto like what we've done to the last clip. Let's go ahead and click this, click that, press on the eyedropper tool and go ahead and click on my skin tone. So I'm gonna try to completely cover my skin color right here. Okay, so the more I click on my body part, the more I'm getting the floor. If I, let's say, want to get rid of the floor and to not include it, if I press on this, then it also takes away from my skin color. So now, as you can see, this is also covered. And so if I was to uncheck this box right here and then go to the teal part, as you can see, the floor isn't being included. And so what I do is I completely separate my body from the background. It's a little bit more work, but sometimes it is worth it. You know, if you have like a really cool looking clip and you want to completely separate yourself from the background, I think it's worth the extra work. Let's go ahead and get rid of all the work that we've done. So let's go ahead to effects control, go to Lumetri color and just delete that. I'm just gonna go ahead to the basic color again and press auto. Duplicate this clip by pressing option and then just dragging this up. On the second layer right here, on the top layer, what we're gonna do is completely separate ourselves from the background. So with 2026 Premiere Pro, you can now rotoscope yourself just like how you can in After Effects. But this one, it's called Object Mask Tool, and it's so much easier. All you have to do is just click on this and then hover it around your body, and then it should pick it up, and it's pretty accurate, I'm not gonna lie. Just go ahead and click that. Once that's done, it's gonna make a mask around my body, and just go ahead over here under the effects control and press the play button, and then it's gonna track my body completely. So now that we've done that, we're just gonna go ahead and drag this under opacity, and then you can't see the mask because we have the background here still, right? Just like that. And so now you can completely just do whatever it is you want to the background without touching your body or your skin color. Let's go ahead and go to midtones and just kind of drag this down just a little bit. And so now, as you can see, it's now changing the color everywhere else aside from my body. And so if I wanted to complete this look, drag this down a little bit, kind of like that. Just nest this, go ahead and nest that. And then now what you can do is just finish your color grade over here. So, you know, I'm gonna put the contrast up a little bit, highlights down, shadows down as well, whites down. And again, if you don't like the color of your skin, just go to curves, click on the eyedropper tool, click on your body, and then just change it up. And then you can also just make it a little bit darker to completely give it that like darker-ish look. And there you go. That's how I color grade my videos in Premiere Pro. And now let's go to the comparison. And finally, I want to show you the comparison between the Pocket 3 and my Sony a7 IV that I'm filming with right now, because I know you're wondering how close it actually gets. So I took my Sony a7 IV with a 20mm, which is the same focal length as this DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And I want you to look at both and see if you can actually tell the difference. Obviously, my Sony setup is a lot more expensive. It's a $3,000 setup versus this $600 setup. So the price difference is a lot, but for what this camera can do, it's insane that it can even keep up with a setup like this. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I feel like people underestimate this camera so much, and especially how easy it is to use to film yourself in the gym. And I feel like a lot of people fall into the trap that they think they need really expensive gear in order to get cinematic shots, but most of the time it's actually knowing what type of shots to get and how to maximize what you already have. And this is why I think the Pocket 3 is a great camera for gym content, because if you don't want to bring a big setup, you know, with a lens and a camera and a tripod to the gym, this and a small phone tripod is perfect for you, especially if you don't want that much attention and you still want great quality. This is where this camera shines. It's small, it's simple, and simple usually means you'll actually use it. That's it for this video. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in the next one. By the way, the whole time I'm filming this, I'm sweating. It's 8 in the morning, it's 30 degrees, but feels like 35. So it sucks. Oh my God. All right, where were we?